Guys, the CEO just said big spending is over and that it is now time to reap the profits and reap the rewards. And the CEO said that they've already done the R&D for sub-brand, sub-brand, and the chip development. And now it's time to be a bit more conservative with their spending and that they're focused on reaping the rewards. Now, have a listen.
For the past few years, we have constantly been investing in our second and third brands, as well as the research and development of our chips and electronics. This financial strain has already shown in our financial reports from the last couple of years. So what about moving forward? We are slowly entering a period of reaping rewards. By the end of the year, we'll have cash reserves of more than 500 billion. We can assure that our resources for the future are secured with this. In the context of the situation in 2019 and 2020, with everyone's support, we were able to undergo a minor transition between 2020 and 2021. Today is much more joyful than those days.
By the way, guys, this was like basically one day ago on the 14th of March. And taking his word for what it's worth, we can expect losses to be substantially less than before. Well, they're not. They've already done the R&D. What more are they going to do the R&D on? And also during the recent earnings call, the CEO said, well, the CFO said that the swap stations that they're going to be deploying this year are mostly partner swap stations. So the partners will be putting down the money for those swap stations, and you can expect less capex from NIO. So both in terms of R&D and swap station deployment, NIO is going to be spending less. Now, the problem for you guys, I think, for you guys to think about is whether or not sales would also be less throughout the year. All right, without further incentives. Recently, they've done great BAS incentive, very, very good. Watch that video if you haven't already done so. But could sales decline through the summer, through fall, before the sub-brand comes out? Very, very possible with all this competitiveness. And also, I kid you not, NIO CEO scolded the marketing team, Ma Ling, the head of marketing team. So basically, to give you some context about what happened, they launched this BAS event, and apparently within the NIO app, there weren't very good graphics to explain the whole situation. It was just a plain out article with numbers and stuff. It was very hard for people to understand and digest. Whereas for competitors, they usually launch these things with cool graphics that are easy for customers to understand. So one NIO owner that attended this conference confronted NIO CEO about this and asked why, like even us NIO owners, we come out with interesting graphics, interesting articles, interesting videos and stuff, and that really helps customers understand NIO better. How come? Why did you guys not come out with a interesting graphic for this event, for this very event? What is the reason? All right. So she asked the CEO, and the CEO was basically left speechless. All right. He was left speechless. And of course, he had to, ask the marketing guy why did this happen. And the marketing guy was giving some excuses like, oh, we also knew about this in the last minute, that kind of stuff, and not well prepared. And the CEO basically said, we did not do a very good job. Well, have a listen, all right? Have a listen.
We often invite our friends and introduce them to the BAS because we used to push the BAS purchase plan.
But the overall calculation method is quite complex. And when we go to the store, our fellows can't explain it clearly in a few words.
Looking at the official explanation on our APP, I think it might not be meticulous.
Bin, Mr. Lu Hong, or Dr. Shen Fei and others might see that our car owners have made many graphic and text interpretations of some very interesting calculation methods.
So I was wondering if our NIO PR team considered making such dynamic graphics and text before this conference.
Yes, this proposal is particularly good. What do you think? Yes, you're right, we're a bit slow. This time it's really complicated. Since we planned this, including the entire result from last night to today, we've been working on communication materials based on our final policy. I believe that the first wave of official materials has been released, and there will be some third-party content. So it means there will be some relevant policy changes. Yes, there are some things that really need to be prepared in sync. Yes, we also welcome our users to give us more suggestions. We found that many users create very good content.
Marin, you're too official.
This needs to be improved. Actually, there should be some official materials that make it easier for everyone to explain the concept clearly.
This could actually help us spread our NIO products to more friends.
There are many things that are somewhat obscure right now. Yes, I think sometimes we can make this form more down to earth.
The point of it was that the whole entire marketing division isn't really putting out stuff that really makes it easier for people to understand what NIO is all about, whether it's BAS, which is what that lady was asking about, or battery swap. So that is definitely an area that we all know NIO needs to improve, all right, and they need to improve quickly. Now, another very interesting suggestion that was made during this conference was to have swap stations actually have their serial number on the top of the swap station and also the location written out. So this would more easily help bypassers visualize, see that, oh, this is the 2300th swap station. Oh, wow, that must mean that there's a lot of swap stations. And also with that location, it's easier for people to, if you take photos and share photos online, it's easier for people to know where that swap station is. So definitely having the swap station badge number and then also the location on the swap station itself is going to help people understand NIO's swap ecosystem better. And also, some of you guys said that NIO's holographic sort of 3D animation of a battery swap should be displayed everywhere. And I think that they should implement like a screen on the swap station and also showcase that what's going on inside the swap station constantly for people to better understand, because the concept of battery swap is still very unfamiliar with a lot of people. Some people still think that battery swap is either manual or it's because of you have a bad battery, the battery's dead and you gotta go swap it out. So not many people know that it's for energy replacement purposes, and that's why NIO added advertising on the swap station. But it's definitely a good thing that that lady, that EC6 owner, called out NIO's PR team and said that you're not doing a good enough job, with those graphics whatsoever, and that CEO was left speechless. And he knows that they haven't done a really good job in terms of marketing and in terms of getting the information out there, even though they're spending a whole lot of money on TikTok ads and WeChat ads. They're not delivering things to the point, right? You're marketing the car, you're not marketing battery swap. You gotta market battery swap. So hopefully, with this wake-up call, the CEO is going to fix things, and hopefully the marketing department is going to get things right, all right, and not be so sloppish. I mean, like, you have such a big event for BAS, and you just come out with a few text, and that's it. No interesting graphic to explain stuff, make it easier to understand. It was so confusing for me as well. Like, I had to sit down and process everything, write things down and calculate and do all sorts of stuff. It was quite tough, but yeah, this is a good wake-up call, and hopefully they learn this. And future is bright. They're gonna deliver a lot of cars in the future. And guys, lastly but not least, I believe that by the end of 2025, with the sub-brand and sub-brand all out, they're going to be delivering a lot of vehicles. But that really depends on people wanting battery swap and knowing battery swap and then wanting to buy a car that can do battery swap. So it all hinders on that. So hopefully they can get things in order. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.